Stanley Black & Decker provides tools and services around the globe to help turn great ideas into reality and to help us shape the world we live in. We proudly support programming that inspires invention, innovation, and hard work. Together with Make48, we're providing men and women the tools and resources to build a better world. Stanley Black & Decker, for those who make the world.
ACE is made up of thousands of entrepreneurs with a passion for supporting innovation. With more than 5,000 locally owned stores worldwide, we help supply resources and tools for neighborhood makers and inventors.
ACE is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
For more than 30 years, QVC has been dedicated to finding and supporting innovators, inventors, and entrepreneurs. Our shopping experiences help entrepreneurs bring their products to life and share compelling stories of grit, determination, and creativity.
Previously on Make48.
Outdoor entertainment!
The teams were challenged with the product category, outdoor entertainment. Then they brainstormed ideas and met with the patent attorneys.
That argument and get a U.S. patent for this.
Stay tuned as their ideas begin to come to life. Welcome to Make48. Everyone's got a big idea.
Okay, so a red-eyed, sleep-deprived, coffee-craved, top of the morning Make48 teams! Hopefully you are making rapid progression through the process as you come into day 2, a very important day, the key day, as we go from head to hand with all of those ideas. Hopefully you've landed on the one that you're ready to rock with, okay? We're about to get on a bus and we're gonna go on a tool run for your idea as well as maybe for your presentation. So I want you to think broadly. Hopefully you made your shopping list of what you're going to need, and you're gonna get a limited amount of time to go through the store and pick up all of those things, put it in your cart, right? Let's get on the bus, let's rock it out. Tool time, everybody, ready? All right.
The supply run at the hardware store for me is a very special time. I go to these hardware stores and I come up with a lot of inventions of my own, just walking down the aisle and connecting the dots.
With shopping lists in hand, the teams board buses and head to the hardware store.
So the supply run is great because it is insane. Shopping at its craziest. We have what we call the Orange Army descend on the store early in the morning. To stand back and look at it, absolutely insane. But to be in the middle of it, you see the practicality of the exercise.
The teams get to work gathering their supplies. With a 1-hour time limit, they must work fast.
We are dads and daughters from Maryland, Team DAD. Live across the street from each other. The two girls have known each other since they were before kindergarten. We have pictures of them going off to kindergarten together, and now pictures of them going off to senior year together. This is our sort of last hurrah before they go off into the world and we never see them again. We are trying to solve the myriad of problems that come at the beach, being comfortable, having to carry everything down there. So we came up with the idea of a triangle. So this gives you the opportunity. It's basically going to be a fold-up 3-section. I want to call it a beach chair, but it's a 3-section comfort item.
So you get a frame, so you're looking at some PVC here to get...
Yeah, they were talking about welding some stuff.
Yeah.
And we were looking for, like, for conduit.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But I don't see the conduit, like the thin, but could they work with this, the copper?
Yeah, I think they can. I think they could work with that. You know, we can certainly verify that with one of the techs that'll do the welding for you. But I think you'd absolutely, build a frame. But yeah.
What's the cost difference?
Yeah, so take a look at your...
$7.99,
$16.
Yeah, that's going to be more, right?
I think this environment where they're kind of encouraging this, thought process, this actual creation is pretty unique, and we don't really get the chance to do that anywhere else. So.
He's an inventor full time. We have come up with some products ourselves together, and that's what that's our pillow talk, is talking about new ideas and how to improve upon things. A problem for us is you're sitting outside around your nice fire pit, and what happens? Smoke comes in your face.
How do you get this to go away? Well, it's going to go up no matter what. So how do you do that? Create a vortex.
Teaminator used their time on the supply run to find parts to build a mini wind turbine.
I really would rather have like a 3-inch.
But can you like?
See if you can find a 3-inch version of this.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next step where we can take that. He's going to work on the design and just kind of seeing that whole process consolidated down into 48 hours is cool, I think.
Attention Make48 team members, you have 30 minutes to complete the items from the shopping spree. 30 minutes, Make48 team members.
The inventors rely on the tool techs to help them pick out the appropriate materials for their prototypes.
That's what I'm saying. See, I've got black, but if you want to pick it up while you're at it.
But his idea for the stencil?
We can laser cut a stencil with any font you want, so you can literally mix it up. There's a way to visually go, it's a football uniform.
Well, they'll know what it is once we finish it.
I think we got it down. I think that we're gonna make progress with what we have. Yeah. We're gonna do something real easy and basic, so it should be good.
You got $200. What are you looking at prices
It's
for?
not that. It's just, we're just trying to figure it out if we can get away with
$200 is going really fast if you buy 3 or 4 pieces.
Yeah.
So you're wanting quarters?
Well, we're trying to figure out what is the best presentation that we can get.
Having a product on store shelves is the ultimate goal for these inventors. For one member of CNC Company, this dream has already come true.
So one of the guys on CNC Company mentioned that he had a product on the shelf. So I was at a meeting, I don't know, about a month ago, ICKC, and somebody brought this out of their bag and they said, we're making these. And I thought, wow, I recognize that on your shelf. And come to find out, this is your product.
That's right, my company, Marche International, designed these, and the main idea was you keep road flares in your car lit in road flares, and that's just an obsolete idea and like the perfect thing for LEDs to replace.
That's the ultimate goal, is to have your product on the shelf at a store.
The hardest thing that we've found is marketing. It's just tough. It's tough to get it on the shelf. It's even tougher to get it off the shelf.
The Porch Pirates from Virginia are experienced inventors, but the time constraints of this competition are proving to be difficult.
In trying to invent something in 48 hours, we can see that it's a lot more. I know from personal experience going through this with something else, it's an evolution. But I think the process, as soon as we get to work with the tool techs, will be, I think, the highlight for us.
Toggle switch. Here's a push button switch.
I like the idea of a push button, because then there's nothing else sticking out, right? It's
pretty big,
tucked in.
The prototyping is a matter of trying to figure out what's the core functionality of the product that you're trying to develop. I think that switch is going to work out better than any other switches they have. That was small enough, I think we'll.
So we have our LED, well, we've decided we're using the ones back there.
Yep.
And our battery source.
Yep.
We're good.
Got the switch.
The acrylic sheeting, we've got.
The wire that can run up into the top.
The flashlight, yep.
Do the top and bottom for the LEDs.
We have our hinges. We've got our spray paint.
Patents are a very important step in the invention process. Josh Malone from Bunch of Balloons knows firsthand the need to protect your intellectual property.
So I just came around the corner and I looked and I saw like my arch nemesis knockoff. This product's been enjoined by the federal courts. This is a copy. We're suing them for infringement. They shouldn't be doing this. We invest all of our research, our R&D, all our time, our energy on a design, and if it's a true invention, it's patentable. We're counting on that patent to secure the exclusive rights to that, to bring that to market. Most companies are going to respect the patent right. But there's just a few that don't care. You got a patent, they don't care. It doesn't mean anything to them. Because you still have to be able to go to court and enforce it. Like if someone doesn't obey the law, who's going to punish them? Well, there's no police for patents. The patent owner is his own police. He has to go to the court, he has to hire the attorneys, he has to file all those, he has to fight it out. And then these guys hire attorneys and they fight back. It's just not straightforward. It just takes a lot of... it's like just another level of perseverance for a successful inventor.
Make48 inventors, you have a few minutes left. Make your final selections and we'll see you at the checkout.
Time's up. The teams collect their supplies and head back to the pits to get to work on their prototypes. Hopefully, they have purchased everything they'll need to get started.
Why did we do this? I've tried to invent for the last 30 years, and this contest, Make48, is a dream come true for me, to be able to come one place, come up with an idea, and have people here to help you. But that's where I'm stuck right here on this point trying to seal it. I realized
Just in your window.
putting it all together now, I'm stuck. I can't seal this thing because I can't get it done.
Okay.
Let me make sure that this is good enough. I want this actuator to go.
Yeah.
That part worries me, is keeping your seal there on that plunger. That's a really hard thing to, it's a hard seal to make.
This is what we're going to do. We're going to put a washer, a bigger O-ring.
Okay.
So this is going to go on like this. All these people are here just to help us to take that idea that you just thought of and to bring it to fruition.
So the Inventor Maniacs, there was a younger son on their team, and it was something interesting to see another boy like myself working on a team there. I would recommend to people, young people especially, to go and do things like this and to start a business or to go to a real engineering experience.
It's not like your garage where you just have a couple of things. Here you have 3D printers and laser cutters and saws and just all the materials you need, and it's just really helpful here.
As the clock ticks, the teams continue working on their prototypes, refining their designs with the aid of the tool techs.
So we're working on a prototype right now, and we're waiting for the printer to print out all of our materials. Once we get that completed, then we're going to be able to put it together and make sure that it really works.
We were going to try and use little turbine fans or whatever to do it, and then I accidentally stumbled across a leaf blower, battery operated.
Yep.
It's just a jet turbine fan, so he's going to 3D print some turbines, and we'll put it into a housing that we neck down to this. We'll have a nozzle on the end of this, so you'll be able to articulate it up, and then we'll have a kind of a flat nozzle that you can then fine-tune it.
After getting inspiration from the hardware store, Teaminator begins making custom parts for their fire pit smoke solution.
Worst case scenario, we have to make it smaller and maybe put a second turbine on it.
Yeah.
That you put on it.
We'll have to print one out and see what it does.
To see how it works.
The supply run was great. We were able to talk with the tool tech ahead of time and figure out what we needed. So the store was very well organized and actually had a lot of help for things that we couldn't find. So that was a real, that was a real success. So this one is going to be the same up here, only this is going to have to be made a couple inches higher because we're putting a bottom one too.
Right. You mark with a Sharpie where you want stuff.
Okay.
And make a little initials saying what it is, and I will weld it however you want it.
Okay.
I'm here for you.
All right.
Electrical conduit makes a great quick prototyping material. It's strong, it's light, it's cheap. We weld it together. Unfortunately, you have to do it outside because the galvanized surface creates some toxic fumes, so nothing better ventilated than the outdoors.
My favorite part of the Make48 weekend is working with every single team. Whether we're 3D printing or CNC machining or just brainstorming, you have a vested interest in every one of them, so you want to see all of them succeed. So you're stressed out if they're stressed out, and you really want prototypes to finish so that they're successful, and the tool techs really band together to make sure that happens.
I want to put a bottle opener here in the handle of our handle. And I need to know the distance of the measurement.
Yeah, that way you can hold the handle like that and just get a bottle and just open it.
About 0.286. We're going to go a little bit higher, about 300,000.
So we're on our third round of prototypes. They're in the process of being printed right now. And with some of our second rounds, we're assembling them. We're going to use them for some of the videos, and then we'll have our third rounds put together tomorrow for demos.
Oh! That's the last one of the previous one.
Oh,
After getting their first prototype from the 3D printer, Team Believe tests the design of their 360 uplight solution.
It's fun collaborating and coming up with ideas and problem solving. It's when there's something to come up with and just having us put our minds together and have us come up with a solution. I think it's very rewarding.
The inventing process is so fun and exciting and challenging, and it's kind of like the American dream. Think of something, make it, see if you can sell it. Oh, that's cool.
Okay, we got a little bit we gotta do.
Yeah.
Wow. From the sun. What if? So we like it better?
No. Yeah.
Is anyone else coming? Do we like it better up lighting then? That's what we're trying to figure out. Yeah. It's definitely brighter.
Team Jonesies checks in one final time with the patent attorney to discuss the design for their tailgate party game.
This had the logo underneath it, or it's kind of like a badge of honor where I take this whole jumpsuit patch off instead of like ripping it off, but it's actually taking this patch off, and then it exposes the logo or emblem of whatever that college team is. These are very quick cursory searches that we're doing, and I found a lot of their inventions, and it may have been bad news for them, but I look at it as being more informative and helping them so that when they're ready to pitch, they can actually talk about what is patentable, and that's what investors look for.
And then on top of that, it's another way of making your opponent wear the color of your team.
Right, because I know that investors like to invest in things that can be used multiple ways. What I love about this is taking an idea and actually going from the idea phase all the way to a real product, and then actually telling someone about why they have to have this product. It's an incredible process, so I'm really excited and can't wait to see how this unfolds.
CNC Company began running preliminary tests of their product to ensure it works properly before spending too much time prototyping.
CNC Company, two great guys. It was funny to watch them through their discovery phase to see if their product is going to work.
Our device is the cool beer. So when you put it in the cooler, it kind of shakes it and it moves the liquid, which causes the beer to become cooler faster.
62.
We made a test prototype to see if this thing would work. We're seeing results, so we have some data to back up what we're doing.
In an effort to utilize their time efficiently, Prod Ops have decided to divide and conquer.
Jono and I are starting to kind of put together a little more of the business case as we start to think about website design, video production, what's the value proposition, what are the use cases, what are different ways that, what is the product line potential outside of just the initial prototype, things like that. So trying to kind of divide and conquer amongst the team here. Half the team's on prototyping, half the team's on business case, and trying to get her done. Yeah, I mean, from a prototyping perspective, this is certainly a very manual process, specifically when you have 48 hours to pull off what we're going to try to do at mass production and scale. But here, what we've done is we've secured a vacuum sealer. We're creating our own vacuum seal pouches that would simulate basically what we would do, at scale during the manufacturing process. And then we've gone out and procured a whole slew of different spreadables and condiments to essentially make a full line of products that we can demonstrate.
With prototypes beginning to take shape, the teams talk with the mentors, hoping to gain insight into possible target markets.
So right now, here's like our packet. Our thought was we're going to put gel on this side, peanut butter on this side, and then you would rip off the like ketchup packet, squirt it out, then you could spread it. But then we're thinking like, well, how can you get rid of some of this? This is kind of bulky. Well, if you have the packet on both sides, and you have some sort of apparatus like this knife right here, like this, and you got a packet of imagine this is peanut butter, this is jelly, and then you just go like this. Then you don't even need a handle of the knife. Look how much space you're saving. You can just spread it. You spread it out, you just smudge it back and forth. You spread it. Yeah.
You're trying to avoid getting messy. It's really exciting to see these things come to fruition. We know it's difficult to create a product. It's equally as difficult, if not more so in some cases, to find your market and find the people that are going to value your product as much as you do.
We had other ideas too. So if we use utensils, we could then use like ketchup and mustard, or we could use like syrup and butter for like pancakes. We could even put on a spoon, and we can do like instant coffee and creamer, rip off. We could do like marshmallows on one side, chocolate on the other, and package it with crackers. So it's like your Dunkaroos, but it's different packaging kind of thing. We have sprinkles we can put on one side with hot chocolate, or not hot chocolate, but chocolate syrup, or ice cream on a spoon.
So the more you talk about this, it sounds like your target kind of outlets are going to be primarily grocery stores. You think so?
Absolutely. Or target customer would be, our end customer would be people buying at grocery stores, but we would license it to people like your Skippy peanut butter or your Kraft Foods, who would then include this. Your Lunchable, exactly.
What we know is that makers really need capital and customers. We're helping with finding their customers.
What are people looking for? What do people want? What do people need? And if they see this, are they going to jump? I think that's really the biggest concern for anybody making a new product is what makes your customer get off their couch and open their wallet. Because if you can't get them from standing and wallet open, they're not your customer. And that's really...
You have to inspire them, right? You have to have insights about why your product is important, what problem it solves, but then you have to inspire them. And if you can't inspire them, you're not going to get them. One of the things that we really like to think about is, first, of course, the problem solution. Does this product create a solution to a real everyday problem? The second thing we want to understand is the why of the product. Why would it exist? Why should it exist? People think they don't need it, but when they finally understand it, then they're like, oh my God, that is like, and I've had that happen to me in our business before.
But anybody who comes into an audience and says, well, who's your customer? It's like, everybody. It's like, is everybody dying and you got the cure? No. Well, then everybody's not your customer, or you don't understand who your customer is. And at that point, you could say the most wonderful things in the world, but you've already lost them. You're already done.
One of the hardest challenges for us in starting out was trying to figure out how we get the mix right? How many teams, how many techs, how much tools, what kind of resources do they need to make all this go? I mean, ultimately, we don't want any team showing up the last day without a product. That's a problem, right? So we have to make sure that they have an idea, they have it made, they have their pitch, right? It all comes together. And it's the tools, it's the techs, it's the teams. It's also the mentors, right? Having enough help, just counsel them along the way. That's a big part of it. And making sure that they get quality time with all of them. You know, it's not that they're there, but that they really get a chance to engage them.
Things are going pretty good. We're doing a pop-up exchange station. It presses down, becomes a carry bag, holds all your stuff, and it pops up by itself. So I'm trying to work on that another iteration of like deployment mechanism. So string goes one way, it doesn't go the other way, and push buttons to make it come out. Allison, what are you doing?
Storyboard for the video and the name of the product. Yeah. We did figure out what we want to do pretty fast.
Yeah. So we started prototyping on day one. It seems like everybody is pretty comfortable and focused right now. I don't see anybody running around in a panic.
With the midway point of the competition approaching, the teams continue to check items off their to-do lists. With the help of the tool techs and mentors, the inventors are all on track. On the next Make48.
Is there a reason why there's not a bottom on it and it just drops on the top?
The teams present their ideas to a focus group of industry experts. Then the innovation continues as the teams work on their websites and presentations.
All right, so where it says our awesome team, why don't we put the one sentence benefit statement in there?
Make48. Everyone's got a big idea.
Stanley Black & Decker provides tools and services around the globe to help turn great ideas into reality and to help us shape the world we live in. We proudly support programming that inspires invention, innovation, and hard work. Together with Make48, we're providing men and women the tools and resources to build a better world. Stanley Black & Decker, for those who make the world.
ACE is made up of thousands of entrepreneurs with a passion for supporting innovation. With more than 5,000 locally owned stores worldwide, we help supply resources and tools for neighborhood makers and inventors.
ACE is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
For more than 30 years, QVC has been dedicated to finding and supporting innovators, inventors, and entrepreneurs. Our shopping experiences help entrepreneurs bring their products to life and share compelling stories of grit, determination, and creativity.
To learn more about the invention process and to get to know the teams, visit Make48.com.